I would like to welcome you to our another episode of the Face Forward Summit. Thank you so much, ladies, for tuning in. And today we are in for a real treat. I have my friend with us today. Her name is Amber J. Lawson. We met a few years ago, and this woman, once you meet her, once you see her, you are immediately drawn to her. She has this phenomenal energy and a beautiful, beautiful list of achievements that I'm going to read to you because there is no way in the world that I could memorize all of them. So, first of all, welcome to Face Forward Summit, my dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm so excited to meet all of the women who have gathered here.
Yeah, so let me, ladies, tell you what this superstar's been up to, okay? I'm gonna read it. I'm opening my document here and let's see. So Amber J. Lawson is a master coach, powerhouse entrepreneur, evocateur, it's a word she just taught me like a second ago, former AOL executive. She is a serial entrepreneur turned master leader in transformation. Her experience and insights and energy create the tools and space for lasting changes in your life. Amber J's vision is to create peace on earth in our lifetime. How beautiful is that? And it starts with every single one of us. She says the future is female, and she is committed to women owning their power and their femininity. And that's what she's teaching. That's what we'll be talking to her about today. She's also an award-winning digital media maven. She's on a mission to do good at scale and impact billions lives as a founder and CEO of Good Amplified. She is a co-founder and CEO of the Emmy and Streamy nominated and the IAW TV Best Live Event winner. She is a founder and a member. She's a founding member and a former co-president of LOCA, which is Ladies of Comedy Association. She also launched Goddess Process, which is a 30-day manifestation program for powerful women to manifest their heart's desires. And Amber J inspires audiences around the world with her interactive talks on connection and vulnerability. And that is what we will be talking about today with you. So, I don't even understand how that's possible in one person's lifetime. I don't know, but please tell us, how did it all start for you?
Well, it all started, I am a girl from Raytown, Missouri. I come from an Italian family. And I had a vision when I was in middle school that I would have the most accolades at the back of the yearbook by the time I graduated. And I figured if I did that, that would set me off into life to be successful. And so, and it's interesting because I believe women of this generation, of this time, being in living in this time frame and in this location, is a lot of doing. We have a lot of our self-worth tied to what we accomplish. Mm-hmm. And so I was out on a mission to create self-worth for myself by doing all the things and having all the roles and stepping into power positions. That's how I had that really, really long list of things. And then I had an aha moment.
Aha moment. Could you describe that?
Yes, you were part of it. So I found myself doing it like a man, meaning I was the only woman in the boardroom. I was the only woman at the dais table. I was the only woman in the C-suite. And so I wanted to be successful, right? I had shown up, I'm in these power roles, and the only circle of influence I had, the only role models that were around me were men.
Mm-hmm.
And so I embodied the masculine. I
Mm-hmm.
embodied how they navigated life. And it worked. You know, I have been very successful in my life. Their methods worked to a point.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found myself, and I notice I've had, you know, in conversations I've had with a lot of women that I run into, is there came a point where there felt like something was missing. Like, yeah, okay, I got the money, or I got the house, or I got the kids, or I got the relationship, or I got the, you know, traveling around the world, but something's just not right. Like I don't know what it is, you know, that thing. And so I went on a journey, and my journey was in emotional intelligence. I went through
Mm-hmm.
a year-long program. That's where we met,
Yes.
and where what opened up my heart to being fully seen,
Mm-hmm.
to embracing all of me and knowing I'm enough and that I'm worthy, and understanding that vulnerability, which for me, I would rather die than to have somebody see me cry, right? Like it was a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
If some, if my underbelly showed,
Yeah.
so to speak, right? And so going on this journey of vulnerability really opened my heart up, and I got clear on a pathway for wholeness for me.
So once you became vulnerable, what opened up for you? How did your life change? How did your business change? What was possible then?
So the definition of vulnerability is capable or susceptible of being wounded.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds horrible. And why would anybody choose that? But the fact of the matter is vulnerability, we show our cracks, and our cracks are what allow the light in. We allow others to see us, and it's what truly connects us. So I was engaged 3 times. I
Mm-hmm.
never made it. I did it because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. Like society told me, or that's what I thought good girls do. That's what life was supposed to lead up to. And I never did it because I knew something inside of me was like, this isn't it. And by opening my heart, being vulnerable, I was able to I have much deeper relationships, not only in romantic relationships, but with my family. I got
Mm-hmm.
to know my family. How many of us say we want to like have a deep relationship with our family, but we have no idea how to get there?
Yeah.
We just talk about the surface things, but what really matters is not keeping it together, is not perfection, is not like white knuckling it and holding on for dear life, but it's opening up and sharing our experiencing and allowing others
Yeah.
to show up and support us. One of the things, the masculine is purposeful and penetrating, whereas the feminine is all about receiving. And how many of us, and I'm just like, I was the worst at it. I practice receiving. But as women in this time, I know so many of my friends and the women I work with have a hard time receiving,
Mm-hmm.
have a hard time allowing someone to pay the bill for you
Mm-hmm.
or even open the door. But when we don't allow someone, the masculine in particular, to open the door for us, or provide for us in one way, shape, or form, we're taking away their purpose.
Yeah.
We are meant to receive. Our bodies are made literally to receive. So that is what opened up for me, and why my business changed. It, first of all, it enriched the businesses I was already in. So I didn't abandon the businesses I am in. I run we do social media for nonprofits, right? So I work with X Prize and Make-A-Wish and really big nonprofits. And then I run a nonprofit, Comedy Gives Back, and we are the safety net for the comedy community. We're doing big live streamed events right now. And what it did is I get to the heart of things quicker. I create relatedness, and it doesn't have to look perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I found in business as a woman, when I was at AOL, I didn't ask for help because I thought I'd look weak. I thought they'd figure me out. I thought they'd say, hey, you're not qualified for this job because you don't know everything. When in fact, it's us coming together and all sharing our talents is where we can expand and be the full breadth of our vision living. And then I created Goddess Process out of it because I was surrounded by powerful women, C-suite women, millionaires, women building their businesses or coming from diverse backgrounds, and who had belief systems that frankly weren't their own, but they didn't have the tools necessary to both be a powerful businesswoman and be their truth, living their authenticity, their authentic selves, and embracing support, receiving support, and having their femininity, their divine feminine, be the essence of who they are, not do it like a man.
That is so powerful. And I know for myself, I struggled with that. And I still do to some point, because in the corporate world, in the men's world, that's what we see. That's the only way men know how to do it. And we women try to match that. We try to get better than that. So sometimes we even push like harder and try to be even more masculine just to even up with them. And it hurts us more than it serves us, I believe. And so for me, I had a hard time to make that switch. So when we went through our program, one of the workshops we participated in completely opened my eyes, and like you say, opened my heart. And it was just this beautiful realization that I get to be in a flow, and I get to allow for things to happen and to come to me. And once I do, it's creating this balance. You know, men want to give and women want to receive. And once we allow that, it's this beautiful dance, right? And everything works out perfectly. But if we are trying to be like men, we are bumping heads and we are never feeling good enough, it's never going to work. So yeah, I absolutely love what you just shared. And so if you could tell us a little bit more about your Goddess Process, because I hear women who work with you achieve amazing things, and I've seen, because I know many of them, I've seen them thrive from that program. So if you could please tell us a little bit more about what you guys do, and you know, how maybe our audience could participate in it.
Absolutely. So it's women only. It's a
Mm-hmm.
safe space where we come together. So there's an intensive, there's a self-guided, and there's a tribe. So a private daily group that interacts is the tribe. It's your goddess tribe. There is the self-guide, has videos and worksheets and prompts and music and all the things, but you do it at your own pace. And then the intensive mastermind, which is 30 days. It's every weekday, so Monday through Friday, a 30-minute live Zoom call with me and the other goddesses in the collective. And we go through this 30-day manifestation process. And we focus on 4 areas. The first being self-care.
Mm-hmm.
So really, we have to fill our cup up first. Otherwise, it's putting your oxygen mask on first. If you're passed out on the floor, how can you be helpful to others? And so we get to fill our cup up first. And for a lot of us, that's hard. We're always putting others before ourselves. So really starting to build that muscle of self-care.
Mm-hmm.
And we go through different versions of it and practices. There's buddy pairs. So you have support in the I, the we, and the all.
Yeah.
And the second portion is prosperity. So money equals self-worth. Looking at what you are allowing in, what you are willing to receive, the limiting beliefs you have around it. So getting clarity, limiting beliefs you may have around it, busting up those limiting beliefs, right? Creating the ones that actually resonate for you, that are truth for you. How many of us heard from our parents, money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to work really hard to make money, or so these are beliefs that hold us back from allowing in. Yeah. And then the third piece of that week is outrageous requests, taking committed action and making outrageous requests. So you get to like play in this safe space, but like push yourself, right? We get to stretch. The third week is relationships. And that week is magic. But want to talk about vulnerability and intimacy. That we get into where you want to go. Like, what are the relationships you want to have in your life? And how are you a factor in the outcomes of your relationships and what you have around you? Because we are 100% responsible for everything in our lives. 100% responsible for 100% of our outcomes. So the fourth week is community and contribution. So what is your vision for the world? What does community mean to you? How do you get to use your talents to power your purpose and be prosperous and abundant? Yes. I mean, that is the Venn diagram. That's the centerpiece. So we get to where's the overlap for you? And in that, we are living our heart's desire abundantly, radiantly. See what I did there?
I love it. I love it. I am enrolled. One thing that I really appreciate you saying is that it is women only, and it's a tribe. And that's something I wanted to ask you down the line. So I'm just going to bring it up right now. What or how do you see the importance of tribe for women in the world? Is it something that you'd say is important?
I didn't give much weight, power, credo to groups of women before. I thought women were out to one up each other. I thought there was competition. I thought I would be talked about behind my back. Mm-hmm. So I frankly steered away from groups of women. And then I also took a course that we call Grace that shifted all of that for me. While I was taking the course, my dog of 16 years passed away. And I couldn't show up pretending. I couldn't hold it all together. I had to be supported. I had to let it go and be vulnerable. And women showed up for me. Women held space for me. I got to have my experience, which I 100% believe allowed me to process that so much more fully and completely. I was held all my emotions, every phase I went through. And what I learned, not only in that process, but by being in groups of women, is that we get to see that we're not alone. Mm. That the experience that I am having, like I can think, oh my gosh, I am so stressed out and I have to take care of the kids and I'm running a business and I'm the only one who's dealing with this much stress. But the fact of the matter is, when we come together in a safe space, in a container of sacred safe space for women, and that can be, it can be on a Zoom call. We're doing daily Zoom calls to share your emotions, to share your experiences, to share your struggles, and celebrate your triumphs, is what women are built for. We are built for community, and we get to see that we are not alone, that we are having a very similar experience, all of us, and we are so much better together. Tribe is energy. Tribe is expansion. Tribe is safe and secure when you create that as your community, or come into one of these communities. Tribe saves. I mean, and it goes back actually, to tribal times. The women would come together in the red tent and dance and laugh and giggle and eat chocolate and cry and mourn together, right? And discuss their stresses, discuss their relationships, and hold each other. Really, actually, intimacy and holding space for each other is so important. And we've gotten so far away from it, and now we're coming back together, even in this technologically enabled moment we're having right now. Yeah. I have had more connection through Zoom and video calls and FaceTime than I have just out in the wild as we've been. And here is the opportunity to connect.
I absolutely love it. I was gonna say, back in the days, women would gather around the well and they would go pick water, but that was not the only reason. Or, by the river, washing the laundry. That was not the only reason. The reason was to socialize. The reason was to support one another. The reason was to discuss their issues and share their joy and just to be, right? So we are missing that a lot. But what's beautiful to see is that even like you said, in this age of technology, we just find another way to do this, right? Nowadays, it's not around the river or the well or anywhere else. It's mostly online, and it is what we make it. So if we come into a group or the tribe or a community, online community of women, with the intention of giving and supporting, that's what the culture of that tribe will be. And there will be no talking behind the back or any negative energy. It will be a culture of positive, let's grow together, let's rise together, right? So yeah, and
I have to tell you, in these groups, so everything happens on Zoom. They're all virtual. People from around the world are in these groups, and what happens is you get to go further.
Yeah.
When you're in tribe, that if you do fail, you have a safe place to land, to come back to lick your wounds, to reset, and then to go back out there and try it a different way. Yeah. So you're not alone. You're just not alone. It allows us the ability to stretch. Like, if you could do anything in the world, this is the group that can hold you to do your dreams.
Yeah.
This is the group that when you're in tribe, you can stretch into anything you want, whatever that scary place is for you. Maybe it's starting a new business. Maybe it's it's saying I love you first. Maybe it's whatever that is, having a hard conversation or perceived hard conversation with somebody you work with.
Mm-hmm.
But your
Yeah.
commitment, having a group, a tribe that really holds you in your authentic truth, in your vision and your values.
Yes, yes, beautiful, beautiful. And so another thing I noticed, because like I said, I know the women or a few of them who were through your programs. And one thing that I noticed when they come out of the program, when you are having your graduations, they are just radiant beauty. That's what I would describe it. And that was one of the things that I thought about when I started this show, was like, how do you get that radiant beauty around our busy lives? So let me ask you this, my dear. What does radiant beauty mean to you, and how do you do it that all your people who graduate are just having it? How do you guys create it?
Well, radiant beauty means to me a woman who is centered in her worth.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing more attractive and oozes radiance than a goddess who has embraced all of her, who knows she's worthy,
Mm-hmm.
and is sharing her talents out in the world. And how we get there through this process is over the course of a month. And they say it takes 30 days to build a habit.
Mm-hmm.
We are at the gymnasium of goddess. We are at the gymnasium of getting aligned in our truth, letting down the masks and walls that we think keep us together,
Mm-hmm.
or that we're like holding on to our perceived lives, and letting that go and relaxing into our truth, our authentic truth, and having practiced it, knowing that sometimes we stub our toes, sometimes we fall, but having this tribe to come back to, we're going to be okay. No
Mm-hmm.
matter what, like, you're going to be okay. And there's so much freedom in that.
Beautiful, beautiful. And my last question. So I know that you have a beautiful gift for our audience, for our ladies. Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, so I mentioned it earlier, but you didn't know it was going to be a gift.
Oh, what is it?
so So Goddess Process is gifting our 30-day self-guided course.
Wow.
So you will get the entire immersive experience that you can do at your own pace. There are meditations in there. There are daily lessons. There are songs and exercises and stretches. There are worksheets and prompts, that tools, tips, tricks to support you in this arc. Take as long as you want. What's beautiful about the self-guided is you can sit in it. And I'll tell you, the feedback I get from the intensive masterminds is we could sit a week in each one of the 20 exercises, in one of the 20 days. So really, you can sit in and reflect and go deeper and deeper and deeper in each one of the exercises. And the great news is once you're in it, you can always go back to it. You can always re-reference it. Once you're in it for life. It doesn't go away. So, and what's added to that is there is a private Facebook group. So there are other women who've gone through it that you can ask questions to. There are women who are in it with you. And in fact, I invite you to partner with someone, either someone in this Radiant group or in your life, and do this with a friend. Have an accountability buddy. It's so much more fun, and it also holds you accountable to do it in tribe. So you have the big tribe, but you also the one-on-one tribe.
I can wait. I'm so enrolled. I can't wait. Thank you so much for the generous gift. This is so beautiful. And I believe every single woman watching will be excited and happy to participate in this. And so I thank you for your wisdom, for sharing your amazing experience, you know, your tips, your ideas, your knowledge with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for creating this safe space for women, this tribe, and what your mission is. You're making a difference in the world. I
Thank,
appreciate you, Goddess.
thank you. And thank you all you ladies for tuning in today to our Face Forward Radiant Beauty Summit that we have. I will see you. I hope you're enjoying it. I will see you next time. Have a good one.